Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tiah. For this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this chunky infinity scarf. So as you can see, this is pretty much the scarf that we're doing here. It's absolutely beautiful. I was inspired by fall colors here in BC. My husband and I are visiting British Columbia, Canada for our kind of, I guess, pre-honeymoon, and this is what I was inspired by the colors around here to do. Absolutely beautiful, very chunky, very warm, because apparently it's a little bit hotter in Ottawa compared to British Columbia. So I was like, you know what, I brought yarn. I'm going to get some yarn if I can go around the little town here and find something, and I ended up finding this and end up making this infinity scarf. And I thought, hey, why not show you guys, my beautiful friends, on how to do it. And this is pretty much the results here. So I hope you guys would love to do this. It's so simple, you guys. I wanted to do this as fast as I could, so I just used back loop double crochet stitch. That's all I did. That's a secret, but anyways, make sure you watch the video to the end, because what I will do at the end of this video is I will show you guys some beautiful colors of me, of my husband, and just the environment of the British Columbia. I'm in Golden, BC right now. It's a small town, but it's so beautiful. People are super friendly and food is awesome. Everything is just absolutely stunning. And so I will be showing you guys some of the pictures at the end of this video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay my lovelies, so before we get this video started, I'm going to show you all the materials I use for my project. So the first thing I have here is our yarn. I have this yarn from CraftSmart Value TM. It is a medium weight, number 4. It's 100% acrylic. Recommended hook size is 5.5mm crochet hook, and it is called the color is called Taupe Ombré. Okay, so this nice beautiful fall colors here is called Taupe Ombré. And in terms of the size of yarn, I used 2 of these skeins, and if you measure in yards, then it's 214 yards, 4 ounces, 196 meters, 120 grams. Okay, so if you measure in any of those, that's the measurements you have, but I used a little bit with just a little bit left, so just get 2 of these, because I ended up using it with just about 200 meters left of the, or not 200 meters, 200 inches left of the yarn. So you do need about 2 of these, okay, if you're making the exact size that I'm making. So for a hook, I'm using this 6mm crochet hook, and again I always kind of up my hook to about by about 0.5. You're gonna need a darning needle to be able to sew your scarf together to make the infinity scarf, and then of course you're gonna need your scissors, and then you're gonna need your tape measure to understand how long you want your scarf to be before you make it into an infinity scarf. Okay, all right, so that's everything for here, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay my love, so to get this project started, we're just going to start by doing our foundation chain. And to start with our foundation chain, we're going to do our slip knot. I apologize, the colors match my table here, but this is the table that I have right now. I didn't have a curtain to cover it with, or like a tablecloth to cover it with, but anyways, so hopefully it will be clear enough that you can actually see that what I'm doing here. And it's funny because the crochet hook actually matches the color of the table as well, so I apologize for that. Anyway, so we're gonna do our slip knot, which I just did like that, and we're going to start our foundation chain by doing 36 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is the length of your chain, of my chain here. Keep in mind with this scarf, we're working up this way, so this is actually the legit length or the width of the scarf, so that's how wide it's gonna be, and then you're going to build your length up that way. Okay, so if you want your infinity scarf to be a little bit shorter, then do less chains. With this project, you don't have to have an even number of stitches at the beginning, or an odd number. You don't care, it could be odd, it could be even. Okay, but for mine, this is 36 stitches, and this is not stretched, so if you stretch it, it becomes a little bit long, but I like it like this, so it kind of bounces and it gets puffy. This is why we call it a chunky infinity scarf. Okay, all right, so to move on to the next row, which is our first row here, we're just going to tilt our work this way, and we're going to skip this first stitch here. We're going to skip the second stitch. In this third one, we're going to do our double crochet stitch, but in the back of this stitch. Okay, so just like this. And as you guys know, this scarf is so basic that we're just using a double crochet stitch in the back loop. Okay, so that's the first double crochet there in the back of the chain, and then we're going to do the second one and just pick up the back of the chain and do our second double crochet, and then in the third, and we're going to repeat this until we get to the end. When we go all the way to the end, we're gonna mate over there so I can show you guys what to do for the second row. So for the first row, this is what you do here. Let me just make sure you see how it looks like. Okay, so that's what you do here for the first row. And again, the reason I'm saying to work in the back of the chain, this is the front of the chain right here. It has these V shapes, and if you flip it to this side, you have these lumps, and this is where you go into. Okay, so I'm just going to show you one more to see what I'm doing. So as you can see here, okay, I just yarn over, pick up that back, look, the back of that, like that. I do my double crochet stitch just like that, and that's what I'm talking about. So you're just going to do this all the way until you get to the end of the last one here. When you're at the end, come back to the video and I will go ahead and show you guys how to start the second row. And the second row is going to be repeat row until you are pretty much at the end of your scarf. Okay, so come back so I can show you to start the second row. Okay, my love, so I have gone ahead and completed this first row of our scarf. So that's pretty much what it looks like. By the way, if you guys have noticed on videos, things look a lot longer than they are. This is probably about 15 inches wide. Okay, so it doesn't it's not as wide as it looks. Okay, so anyways, so I'm gonna show you guys how to start the second row, which is also your repeat row. Okay, and to do that, we're just going to do a chain of 2 right here, and then turn our work. Okay, and now that we're turned, we're going to start our back loop double crochet. Okay, to do that, we're just going to yarn over, and in this stitch right after the chain 2 in the back, we're just going to pick the back loop and do our double crochet stitch. Okay, and then we're going to move on to the next stitch, and in the back we pick the back loop and we do our double crochet stitch. And as you guys see here, we have this V shape, so if you watch me closely here, I'm just going to yarn over. In this next stitch, I'm going to go in the back only and grab my yarn, and then I will yarn over and go through 2, and yarn over, go through 2. So that is what we call our back loop double crochet. That way, when you look at it straight like this, you have this, like, it looks like a dent here because we're working in the back of these stitches and not the front. Okay, so this is our repeat row, and we're going to do this pretty much for however many rows you need to get the length of your scarf, of your infinity scarf. Okay, so go ahead and do that. I'm going to do about 55 inches worth of the length, and when I get my 55 inch length, I'm going to come back so I can show you guys how to do the joining of the 2 ends to be able to do our infinity scarf. Okay, so you're going to continue to do this for this row. Like I said, it's a repeat row, and when you go all the way to the end, what I like to do usually is you're gonna do your last back loop double crochet here. For this final one, I usually like to go through both like that. You don't have to, this is a preference of mine. If you want, you could just do your final stitch in the back loop here as well. I just like to go in here like this because I feel it creates a solid edges here, and it makes it match this side here. Okay, so go ahead and do as many rows as you require for your length, and when you get there, I will do my 55 inches length and I'll come back when I have that. Okay, so see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my scarf here. So as you can see, this is pretty much how it goes up here, and as you can see, it just kind of keep building up. I have my 52 inches which I wanted, or 55 inches I should say, and then this is the last thing that I ended up with here, which is my double crochet in the very final stitch. Okay, so as you guys can see, it's quite long, and like as you guys know as well, it's an infinity scarf. It's called a chunky infinity scarf. So we're going to be joining this section here, and then at the end we're going to have our infinity scarf. This is going to be how we wrap it around us, okay, about around our neck. So with that done, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step here. And also, I told you guys you need 2 of these skeins. This is how much yarn I have left. Maybe it's not 100 inches as I say, but that's how much it is that I have left, okay? So make sure you have about 2 skeins of this yarn so that you don't run out and you have to go back to the shop and get it, unless of course you're planning to do one that is not as long, or maybe for this length of the project here you did shorter, so then you know you will use less yarn and stuff like that. But if you're following the pattern as I'm doing exactly here, you would need about 2 skeins of the yarn, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and complete our work here. So I'm gonna bring my crochet back in. This is the end. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just going to make sure I have enough of the yarn to be able to join the 2 pieces here, and I'm going to cut here. Okay, so I'll bring my scissors. I don't know what happened there, but what I was saying, I think my battery is about to die. But what I was saying was I'm gonna bring my crochet, I'm gonna leave enough yarn to be able to sew the top and the bottom together. So I'm just gonna bring my scissors in and cut it right here. Okay, I'm gonna put the scissors away. I'm gonna put the little yarn that's left over away. I will probably find something else to do with that at a later time. Okay, and then for here I'm just going to, there you go, I'm just going to pull this and kind of fasten it up like that. I'm going to pull and pull it. There you go. Okay, now I'm going to find the 2 ends so I can join it, and I'm just going to make sure it's not like twisted anywhere. I'm just going to find a way to be able to make sure that they're matching like this. So as you can see here, we're going to join it there like this. Okay, so this is where our darning needle is gonna come into play. Remember this guy, you need that guy to be able to join your end here. So I'm just going to take the end of this yarn, put it in the darning needle just like so, pull it, okay, and then we're going to make sure we line up our work really well over here. And then we're going to start by just going through these both spaces here and then passing it over to the other side and pulling it, okay? And that's the start right there. You can leave this hanging, or if you like you can weave it in as you go, but I'll leave it out. I don't like to weave in because then I have to make sure it's covered somewhere. And then for the next, we're going to go in the front stitch of this side, and we're gonna pick up the back stitch of the other side. Okay, you see the front stitch, the stitch closest to me on the side, and the one away, the furthest away from me. Then I'm going to pull it. I'm just gonna bring this guy like this so I'm not weaving it in, so I don't have to have it looped in, and I'm just gonna pull that in like that. And then I'm going to move on to the next stitch, and I'm going to do the same thing. The one furthest closest to me, pick that, and then the one furthest away from me, and then pull. And I'm going to the next one, the one closest to me, the one furthest away from me, and pull. Okay, so this is how it's gonna end up looking. As you can see here, it just kind of disappears into each other. And you're going to do this all the way to the end. So do that. When you get to this end here, come back to the video. I'll show you how to finish it off here, and we will have our infinity scarf. Okay, so I will see you guys at the end. Okay, my love, so I'm at the end here. So as you can see, I just did my thing here on the last second last stitch. And so for the last one here, I'm just gonna go to the very end stitch here and pick up the end stitch on the other side as well. At this time, you don't have to worry about going through the back loop or the front loop. You just kind of pick it up and go through the both pieces there, and you just make sure that there's not gonna leave like a gap here. So when you do this, that it doesn't have a gap there. Okay, so as you can see here, if I do that, it doesn't have a gap. And I'm just gonna weave it here and do something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go over here and just gonna weave it in. We can always just wrap this up around like this and pull that guy in like that, and then we can always just cut this anywhere here. So I'm just gonna cut that guy there, and then to make sure I secure it fully, I'm going to split my yarn here into 2 pieces. Okay, like that, and they're 2 even pieces. Then I'm going to bring my hook. I'm going to bring this guy through this here like that, and then I'm just going to use these guys like we did in other videos. We're just gonna tie this guy here like that, and then tie this guy here. We're just gonna do a couple of them to make sure like it's fully secure, and then I'm going to bring my scissors back and I'm gonna cut it right there. Okay, and by the way, there's also these here to do, so make sure you do the same thing with these here. But I just wanted to quickly show you where we joined it. So this is where we joined our work right here. As you can see, there's 2 tone colors here, but it's so done to a point where you don't actually tell the difference. It actually looks like we just did there's no joining there. Again, if you flip over to the other side, it's the same thing. Okay, look, when you look at this side, we joined it between these 2 colors. You don't see anything. Okay, so that's the point there. What I usually do with like an edge that I have kind of cut like this and it's sticking out, I just tuck it into the stitch. You just tuck it into the stitch, it doesn't show, and I will do the same when I put that in. But to show you this infinity scarf, that's pretty much how it looks like here. Let's see if we can kind of make this a little bit wider. Maybe that will help us a little bit. Go over here. Sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to make sure I could make the camera angle a little bit wide so you can actually see the whole thing like that. But that's pretty much it. So this is our infinity scarf, you guys, inspired by these beautiful British Columbia colors for the fall. And this is pretty much it. So to wear it, obviously you just kind of loop it around your neck. So you'll do something like this, and then you can flip it twice. And I don't know how to do that. Why am I doing this? Okay, anyways, you know how an infinity scarf goes. So you'll do something like this. It's a little bit on the tight side, which means it's gonna fit your neck really, really nice and keep you warm in the winter or the fall. But that's pretty much it here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video with me, because I had fun working with you guys. What is this right here? Oh, it's my it's part of my stand for the camera. Sorry, it looks a little bit weird there, but anyways, but that's pretty much it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed doing this video with me. Thank you so much for watching it to the end, and I hope you guys had fun as much as I did. But for now, make sure you go and subscribe to the video, make sure you like, comment, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you so much. Ciao ciao.